big long. Okay. So I didn't want it to be one big long video in case you want to go back and rewatch a section. Okay. So I don't have a packet for myself. That was probably not right. Oh. Thanks. Is this yours?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm exactly right.
And it might not go in order. Some of it may, some of it might not. But we're gonna start with well, the first one actually I don't think is it's just some things in it. Okay, cool. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is just image. Okay, I'm just gonna go review some of like the basics with Mary Kay. Number one is when Mary Kay started, it was pantyhose, high heels. You had to have like a jacket suit type image. Okay. But one of my friends was talking the other day, and what she noticed was that when she's more dressed up, like people will hold the door for her. Like they just kind of talk to you different. And so like I always go back to when I was teaching high school. I dressed up every day. Now I didn't wear skirts. I wore dress pants and heels like to teach at a high school. And they had people who would wear these like jogging pants like we wear now, but they were old lady pants back then, I guess, and t-shirts and tennis shoes. And like I didn't have classroom management problems and other people did. And I really thought, like now looking back, I'm like, I was always put together. Like, and even some of the men coaches who just showed up in like a t-shirt and jeans all the time had a lot of issues with time management compared to some of the men who looked a little bit nicer. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're going places. We do have our dash out the door look. Branding yourself, if you're in Mary Kay, you always want to kind of be, semi put together cute. Not that you always have to be decked out to the nines, but that's why I just had these shirts made so like I can put it on and, I can be branded and just kind of being prepared if you're going to go somewhere. And that's kind of why I've always liked the dash out the door look. Because if you're like, I'm not going anywhere today, you never know what might pop up, and you want to be, put together. So we don't have to wear pantyhose anymore, thankfully. They do still want us doing it in a skirt. I mean, we're in a new time, which is new time. There you go. I do have my beauty coat that I put on. My friend Rose just wears a black skirt, whatever shirt she wants, and she puts on her beauty coat. She's up in Prairieville. We have some aprons that I'm gonna try out the next time I do some, but I'll probably do more of those like if I'm doing someone's makeup glam appointment type thing. You can get yourself a beauty coat and just so that I have a friend up north Louisiana who just earned the top directorship for the first time, and she does all her appointments of whatever she's wearing that day. And if it's jeans, it's jeans, but she just puts her beauty coat on top. So like your beauty coat is like her uniform. So it doesn't matter what she's wearing. She throws beauty coat on top. So I'll never forget one of my classes though. She was a new consultant, but she had on a lipstick and someone at the end of the party was like, well, I like that color. What's that? Well, she was brand new. So she didn't have any Mary Kay colors yet. And so she was like, it's not Mary Kay. So like you always want to be like as much Mary Kay as you can. The more Mary Kay that you use, that you do, the more that you can sell to other people. So like I don't buy outside perfumes, and I'm not saying y'all have to. I'm just saying like, if when people pull out a Carmex or Blistex, we always gonna pull out extra morning night cream. Like you want people to see the products. Get better at, and you don't have to post it yet, but like I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about social media. Summer's moving into social media for y'all soon, like with more tips and trainings and stuff. But just get good at like starting to take the picture with the product. So like try something. It could be a lipstick, it could be, and I have the new products here. So if you haven't tried something, you want to try something before you leave, absolutely. So like Delise, I was gonna get back to this because she asked if I've been sold any of the eye palettes yet. And I was like, well, not really, but I've only tried each one once, to be honest to myself. Like if I am going to use them more and show pictures with it, then people are be like, oh, those look great together. And I will say with these palette that came out, you can rip apart the palette and the little metal containers can go in your compact. So like keep that in mind. Like you don't always have to have the two separate compacts. I'm leaving mine pretty cute, like, while I'm so showing it to people. And when you have like limited edition products like that, these end up being really good, like hostess gifts, or you can do like if you play in the referral game at your party and you want to give a prize away, or and I was saying I'm going to use mine for caboodles because like little kids, like I might even give mine to Carter if I don't love the colors, like with the caboodles, the little set of colors is a great idea. So I might not be able to sell it. How much are they? 40? Okay, I can't sell it in a caboodle for 40, but if I just sell it for 22, I made $2 or even 20, I broke even. I'm getting it off my shelf. They're using the good skincare. Because with the caboodles last year, I didn't make 50% profit, but the idea was I wanted these kids on this good product. And so, like I was telling y'all, my goal this year is still going to be caboodles. I've been ordering them. I got a kind of stock, but I want to do reorders too, so that'll be in a different case because they don't need a second caboodle to fill the first caboodle. So, that is something. So like if I am using the products and getting better at them and learning about them, then it's easier for you to sell them, because you know about them and you can talk about them, and same thing with your family. If you can start getting your husband to use this, or this or that. And don't like write anything off on the first time. That's my number one thing. Okay. When we got the lash intensity mascara, I was like, what's the big deal? Like, my lashes look the same. Well, then I realized it's buildable. So like you're supposed to like keep it. I'm like, oh, so I go back to try it again. I'm like, oh, it's the best stuff ever. This confidently you came out. The first time I sprayed, I'm like, this stuff smells terrible. I was like, and everyone in the director's group, all my friends were like, this is the best smelling perfume we've ever had. And I'm like, why? Like, why do y'all like it? It's terrible. And so I was like, clearly I'm missing something. I got to try it again. So I wore it for the next couple of days, and now I'm almost out the whole bottle. Like, and I mean, we haven't had it that long, but like, I love it now. So like, always like use it a couple times, try it when, right. I know.
I wasn't crazy.
I know. I have it. Like, I wasn't crazy about it the first time, but now I'm like, oh. But it was Cassandra. She's like, this is the best one we've ever had. And I was like, okay. What else? The blush that we had, we went to the party with the 62 girls, and I was nervous because I use the brush, but I can't give 62 girls a brush. And I tell y'all, before I could even finish talking about it, they all had that on their face. They just snapped that up, and they were like, and I was like, oh, that's how you do that. Okay. Like, I didn't see that coming, So I use a brush, but like each their own. So when new products come out, the more excited you are, like the more people are going to get into it. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are testing them and trying them. And even if you get the samplers, y'all, like I find the old under eye corrector, because I'm so pale, always looked orange on me. So like I don't want to open a tube obviously if, like that one is a good one, but like you don't need all the concealer samples. Okay. So like get the sample packs of it, even if you're trying just the sample, because I still have my old concealer. So I'm like, I kind of want to finish it, like I don't feel like I need to throw it away. And so Rebecca, can you go close the front door? Because the screen door, yeah, the screen door doesn't like shut all the way. So every time the wind blows. No, sorry. Okay, so shine ball. All right. So yeah, so like I didn't want to open a whole concealer, but I wanted to do a demo. So I just grabbed a sample of it. I also wanted to make sure I had the right color for myself. Yeah, close that one. Yeah, that's just gonna do that because of the wind. That's good. So yeah, so get a sample of it. And when I'm doing my live, sometimes I put the brush down because I'm getting it from the sample, but I show the big tube. Okay. So like, that's what I'm saying when you try that. They don't suggest that we make our own samples, but like you could. And I actually have some sample containers on the raffle table for y'all. The little bitty pods, like you could do blush samples in those little bitty pods. Open one tube, start putting one in every order. Cause I feel like the more you give people to try, once they try and touch it, that's why we do stuff in person, But if you're sending them an order, I started putting a lot more samples lately. I made toner samples for my sorority event. We didn't use them all, so I've been throwing them in people's orders. They can try the toner. I just wrote what it was on it. Um, excuse me, the men's products. I've been selling a good bit of them, but I made samples of them when it first came out, and I sent them, throwing one in like each and every bag. So just kind of be thinking like that kind of stuff is going to continue to grow your business. Okay, you can't always get everyone to sit down with you, but each time I'm sending them like a new product to try, and that's also the goal of the 50% off items. The goal is that they would grab something they wouldn't normally get at our cost, and then the next time they coming back for it, it's not on sale again. Okay. I have one customer. She's very like, she watches, if I don't have those specials emailed, because she doesn't have Facebook, by the third, she's like, are you doing specials this month? And she waits for certain products. Like she loves the revealing, no, not the peel. The masks from the repair set, whatever those are called. Yeah. But she only buys them when they go on half price. but she watches for them to go half price, and she'll usually do $100 order and get 2 boxes, So like you have some customers, and I don't blame her, like if she don't order 70,
Yeah.
she must spend $70, but she's like, oh, I'll spend 35. Like so you have some people like that. So, just doing those little things like is kind of helpful. Okay. Um, okay, so any questions about image or anything I talked about yet? Everybody good? That's pretty simple. All right, so the next one is time management. I was watching a training this week and somebody said, an objection, and we're going to talk about recruiting later, but an objection is, people who say they don't have time. Well, then learn time management. Everybody has time. What are you doing with your time? Like starting to be like conscious of what you do with your time. And look, before Mary Kay, I probably would have been like, I'm so busy. I'm folding clothes. I'm vacuuming my floors. So everybody's busy. Busy has become a status in today's society. I don't know if y'all know that. And so people think the busier they are, the more important they are. But what are you busy doing? Time blocking is my number one trick. If you feel like you are very busy or you have a lot on your plate, like Jennifer, and has 8,000 kids and 20 places to be all at the same time. So I just got really good at time blocking. I got a weekly plan sheet. I just Google it, put weekly plan sheet in. I found I'm pretty. That's got to be in my Enneagram probably, right? Like I like colorful and bright, and I'm not like plain Jane white paper. Like this drives me crazy. Like if I'd had more time, it would have been all colorful for me and Rebecca. We made a director's calendar for things we have to do on certain days of the month the other day, and it's all like pretty. Everything's got to be pretty. Like it can't be simple for me. It's got to be pretty. So but you get your time management. I color code mine. I have a calendar at the beginning of the month. Whatever it's going to take for you to feel more organized and figure out where you can plug your Mary Kay time in. Because if you're not making time for Mary Kay, days, weeks, months are going to go by, and if you're not making money, then you're not going to keep showing up. Imagine if you tell your other job, I'm gonna show up, for 20 minutes today when I feel like it. They're gonna be like, no, you're not. You're coming in at this, like, so if you are your own boss now. So if you have another job, they're telling you when to show up. Now you're the boss. You have to figure out when and where to show up. Okay. And it's all about just like placement. So like I got to school yesterday to pick up the girls, and I had about a 10-minute window. Old Jennifer would have scrolled MySpace or Facebook. That's all we had back then. But now that I'm in Mary Kay, like I'm like, okay, who can I text? Who can I call? What can I post this week? Like so my brain is strategic, and it is like, okay, so what can I get done while I'm sitting in this car? And when the girls were little, I would purposely go sit at car line because then I had an hour or however long I chose to be there. I'm at the front line so I can be early for them, but at the same time, it gave me a chance to like get work done. I always tell the story about Pauline. She's a teacher. And so what she would do is after the school day, she would go to her car, she would turn it on, she would text like a whole sheet of referrals, that first message. Okay, like, hey, Nicole, hey, is this Nicole? This is Jennifer. Okay. And then she would send everybody that first message. Don't answer anybody. She sends let's say it's 10 on a page, all 10 people. Then she starts answering the people who are like, yeah, who's this or whatever. She goes back, sends that answer. And so once she finishes all those, she drove home. Before she got out of her car, she answered whoever came through while she was driving. Then like those first 3 messages were already done before she walked in her house and had to deal with your house, your kids, or like whatever's happening in there. So she got that first set of booking done, and then the other people she could just answer, as they came in. So like that has always stuck out to me because I always thought it was brilliant. So it's always just about figuring out your time. I go sit at the soccer games. If the kids aren't in the game because they go in and out, it's 4 to 8 minutes where they're not in the game. So I'm like, what could I do on my phone? Because like really I could care less about watching the rest of the game. Like I'm like, okay, whatever. And so like it's, just little bitty tips and tricks about figuring out where's the best place to put stuff is where you're gonna get really good at time management. So like I was telling y'all, I mean, my husband works 2 jobs. He's volunteering a coach. Like he's got a lot on his plate. So he's absolutely loves to cut the grass. But like when are you going to cut the grass? Like, so then it became like most Saturday mornings we have the kids. That's why we're doing this today. By the way, it's like the only day in the whole month we don't have kids on a Saturday morning. We actually have the bigs. They're asleep. We get the littles back tonight, and it's our weekend with no kids. So like we always have kids, right? Which I don't mind. I'm not complaining by any means, but I wouldn't go to the gym on Saturdays. I don't like the classes on Saturday mornings, but I was like, but I want to work out. So I just started cutting the grass on Saturday mornings. Talk about a better workout than anything else I do at the gym, because I was telling y'all it's not self-propelled. So I'm at this thick, dumb grass I grew myself. Which is really pretty. But so it's just about figuring out, like, so that counts as my workout. You know what I mean? Like, and I try to get up. I'm not texting people at 7 a.m., 7:30. My neighbors might hate me because they're old and retired, but I cut the grass pretty early, and then I still could be ready and dressed for a 10 o'clock class in the morning. So if you want to find time to do something, you will find time to do something. It's just a matter of like, it's like moving pieces, your puzzle that you got to put together. So the time management or weekly plan sheet is the number one way that I got really good at time management. I don't think I put one of those in here, but like I said, go Google it, and they have a bunch of really, really pretty ones. And what's cool about the weekly plan sheet, if you do the blank sheet of paper, you can put all your stuff on there. You can put your kids' stuff on there. You can put it on the fridge, and then everybody knows like what's happening where. And that's when I got good at like planning out dinner. So if it comes out and there's nothing, they're like, "Mom, nothing's written for dinner." I'm like, "I know. Go fix yourself something." Like that's what today is. Because when we just have the bigs, I don't really always cook. I'm like, "Oh, we got leftovers. They're old enough. They don't care if they eat ramen noodles or ravioli." Like, so I'm like, "No, I'm not cooking today." I'm like, "Okay." And they just turn around and go. And so if they see something on there, they know like, "Hey, when's dinner going to be ready?" So it's like two different questions, that they can ask. So just being real good with your time, figuring it out. Even if you're not car sick, do work in the car. Rebecca works a lot in the car while Chris drives. So
I do that.
yeah,
It's easier for me.
right. And then even if it's just checking in with customers, y'all.
And there are weekly plan sheets in the fabulous area.
Yes, there's a bunch of weekly plan sheets in the fabulous area that I found over the years. Or you can make your own on Canva, or GPT could probably make it for you too. One trick about that I would do is I would print my page, write the things that were like the same thing every single week. Like if you always go 11 o'clock mass, put mass. If you're always at work or on a call, whatever, you put that there. Then make a copy of it so you don't have to write it 4 times. And then I'd have my whole week, because those they're done weekly, or do the non-negotiable stuff, laminate it, and then write with a dry erase marker the things that might change. Like our soccer games are always on Saturday, but not at the same times. So like I would have to change that every single week. But like every Monday at 6 o'clock, we have Mary Kay training for the most part, So like things like that you can just kind of time manage, save, and then you like once you have that blank space that's not highlighted on your page, that's where you fit the Mary Kay in. So like I used to have a planning period, and because I taught high school, it was an hour. Like we had a whole hour because that's how long our classes were. So I used to, I wasn't very intentional with my time until I started Mary Kay. And then I was like, I can listen to the $1 million message while I'm making copies. I can, like do things. And so as far as like customer service goes, if you just have a few minutes, like while you're waiting for your kids or something, okay, what customers can I follow up with? Who are my people who I haven't talked to in a while? And it might just be like, "Hey, Jane, I was just thinking about you. Hope you're doing well." So she's my Mary Kay customer, but I'm not saying, "Hey, Jane, how's your products doing?" I'm just starting a conversation. I was just thinking about you. Just wanted to reach out. How's it going? And so a lot of times they'll answer, "Oh, I'm good on my Mary Kay." Like, "Okay, yeah, I was just checking in on you." Like, so you're just checking in with them, but they know you're the Mary Kay girl, so they might answer Mary Kay related. So, just like little things like that can fit into small pockets of time that you can do that. Cool. Any questions? All right. I'm coming. I'm coming. All right. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so some booking ideas. When we I kind of reached out, well, I kind of asked y'all like what are the things you guys want the most help with? And I got back like getting appointments and then like Christmas sales are kind of like the biggest two that nope. Okay. Let me figure it out. And again, there are blankets surrounding all of you. If anyone needs a blanket. I just didn't want y'all to be hot. Okay, so bookings. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that I keep hearing over and over, and it was something that Pat Fortenberry, I think, originally taught me, was to go for the no. So you guys all got a blank one, and all of these sheets will be posted in this group or the link to it. y'all. So this just is a page. It literally has 100 words that says no that many times. Okay. In the packet, that's the colorful packet, there's a couple booking ideas, tracking sheets. So when you go to the Canva link, you'll be able to get them attached, and you can also just look in the fabulous group. Always search, and also my website, y'all. I actually found a couple things on my website. So make sure the website's bookmarked, because that's always revert back to like the original easy steps if you're missing something. Or the Facebook page. Like those are the first two places I would check for something. And so you can go to the Facebook group and just type in 100 no's, or just type in no and see what pops up. Like a lot of November stuff's going to pop up because it's in there, but or booking attempts or whatever the word is, just go start kind of like looking, for that. Okay. So the goal is going to be to get 100 people to say, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't want to try it. Whatever. Okay. Now it has to be a no. It cannot be an ignore. Everybody got that?
It's like a no response is not.
A no response is not a no until they say, no, thanks, I'm not interested. Rebecca, go get that hot pink Post-it that's on my desk at the top. See Destiny? Yep. Take that down. So this was a cool idea I got recently. So you reach out to them the first time, they answer you because they don't know who you are. And that was one of the things we changed. We used to text people and be like, hey, this is Jennifer. I just met with your friend, like blah, blah, blah. And it gave too much information. So people would just read it and ignore from very first text. So then I switched to the one I said, hey, is this Nicole? This is Jennifer. And then they always come back and they're like, Jennifer who? Because they don't have my number saved, and they nosy. They'd be like, yeah, like, huh? And so then you send the next message. Oh, that's fun, exciting, whatever. Well, sometimes they stop texting you. Okay. And so you want to go back a couple of days later and you can look up the 21-day booking plan. That's in all the places too, where every third day or so, you're kind of reaching back out to them to see if they've responded. Okay. And say that you go a couple times, you've texted them and what? Okay, go.
Something to say about that. So we've been doing that where you say, hey, is this whoever?
Yes.
iOS 26 came along and now we're blocked because we are not in their phone. So
You can't text somebody whose number you don't have?
no, the people you're sending it to
Uh-huh.
are not getting it. It's going into a spam file now. So text and calls, if they're not saved in your phone, you don't get them anymore. There's a setting that you have to physically turn off in your phone now.
Oh, mine must be turned off.
So
But if
Yes.
it's the other person that needs to be turned off.
the other person has to have it turned off.
Well, that happened years ago.
So it's.
And it must have gone
different.
away and now it came back.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's different now because you can silence calls, voicemail, and text messages.
That would be wild to silence a phone number you don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. What about if you?
I mean, I don't have my kid's school saved in my
you
phone.
have to save everything now.
Wow.
It's for iPhones.
I mean, I still get tons of phone calls and
Even like if I'm messaging a parent, like I might get a phone number from.
Did you
another parent,
update
like,
iOS 26?
This is Ellie on.
is it recent?
Yes.
How are they
Since like
gonna
yesterday
message if I'm
or a
like,
few days?
Sweet.
invite
I
their
think
kids to a
so.
birthday party or something.
I'll have to check.
That ruins everything.
Mine's like auto and it'll tell me.
This is something Caleb went to his and Claire's, like, he had to do it,
Okay.
update.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's kidding.
So check your settings.
I will.
And then I
If you
think
go
I
into
would say, like,
settings
I
and
don't like it.
you do call.
I haven't updated them yet.
Don't update mine.
Begin settings.
You
and I'll
don't
tell
like
you.
the old stuff too, Mom.
So
I'm like,
then you
I'm
start
not
the bars
to
at the
see
bottom
till it
now
makes
on
me
your
not-
iPhone.
and it's
So
not
if you
working,
put
then
call in,
like,
in their settings, yeah, go to settings and type in call.
Well, because we just got you could schedule text messages and then that went away. Is that back?
It says it's not there
No.
anymore. I didn't see it.
I know. It's
So
super
if you
annoying.
do-
Wait a long
Scroll
time
all
for
the
that.
way to the bottom and you type in calls, it says silence unknown callers. You have to physically go in and change your settings. So you can do it on FaceTime.
How am I know when Publishers Clearinghouse calls me to tell me I won?
Go to Interrupt. They're not a thing anymore.
Well, you just gotta ruin everything today, don't
No
you?
wonder there's been no commercial.
What number am I?
Summer.
So I'm gonna start.
I'm thinking now our kids aren't getting invited to birthday parties and stuff because it's not going
It's a
through.
possibility.
So then what?
You know,
Well,
like to get
then
to
what
that-
happens if it's a group message with an unknown number?
You're not, it's what's gonna happen is if you're texting, you don't have that number saved, you've got this little thing up in the corner now in your text messages right here.
Okay,
If you press that,
they go there.
they go there.
That's what they had done years ago. Okay,
So it's there.
okay, we'll
But
have to check that out.
It's now even worse
Oh,
than it used to
great.
be.
Okay, well, opting that you do not have that turned off. That's what I'm teaching on today. But that's what I was like.
I didn't do it.
I know, I must have not known it was there. Okay. Well, anyway, the idea I had was essentially if you're reaching out to someone, you start talking back. So say that they see the spam thing and they answer you. Okay. This idea somebody gave me was like you write their first name. Do not just put like, hey girl or whatever. Literally, whoever you're texting, their name. Should I quit trying with your name on a post-it? And then you take a selfie and you send it. So like she sees you and the post-it with her name. And the girl I got this from says she's never had someone who didn't respond to this message. That's like, oh, I'm busy, or, you know, I'll post a picture of it for y'all later. But it has to have their name. And she's like, and I know you're going to go through post-it notes. Chill out. It's okay. They're pretty cheap. You know, like they don't have to be expensive post-it notes, or you can cut a sheet of paper, tiny, whatever you want to do. But she was like, oh, I've been so busy. Like, I'm sorry. Like, but this will get them to get to the no. If that's somebody that it is.
So
Okay.
that's when you don't get a response
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yeah. Or you've talked a little bit
And then just
and then they stop like communicating. You've reached out.
Okay.
They
What
seem
did you
interested.
say?
Yes.
Destiny, should I quit trying? Jennifer, or the person's name. And I'm gonna post a picture. We can, here, Rebecca, you wanna take a picture and put in Boxer? Just take a picture of it. So I put the first one I did up. So like, I don't forget, like if I'm reaching out to somebody. So what I would do now that the Lisa just said that is if it's like a whole new thing, like a process now. Number one, if I'm warm chatting with people, I would have them text me right on the spot so that I can go to my spam folder and find their number. Right? That way, like the number's already not blocked because I'm gonna go and respond.
So would that change,
If it's not
Referral.
saved in the phone,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
will it work?
Yeah, if what I was thinking is like, if you're in front of them, be like, hey, save my number in your phone right now and I'm gonna text you.
Okay. So that's one. But I would
But
say,
it has to be saved, right? It can't, even if we've had a text chain, will it still go through? If like I've texted and but it's not saved?
I don't know.
it seems like, why would it remove a text message just because you don't want to save the number?
I have no idea.
Courtney gonna be in trouble. He don't save nobody's name. He just scrolls down. We find what he
The guy, I had furniture delivered this week from Lewis Mohana. And it went straight into, it went straight, I didn't get the call, it went straight over to voicemail, and it doesn't even show me a notification the guy.
Unless they leave a voicemail.
Unless they leave a voicemail.
What's wrong with Apple? Get it together.
Right.
I don't know.
Cause
Make it a setting you have to turn on instead of a setting you have to turn off. Yeah.
Things delivered or.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I had to hurry up and scramble and call back. I was like, please say you're still coming. I need my sofa.
Like I'm home. Yeah. Okay, we'll work through that at
I
lunch.
might go back on that.
But
soon.
my first thought is if they text me,
stuff.
Right, exactly.
right,
Feature like that's.
Yeah.
right. I don't have any, you wouldn't have any of that
Nobody's
saved.
gonna get my calls when I call for notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid just had, you know.
Okay, so,
And you're not gonna get called.
well, my thought, this is why I said that. If she texts me, I know to go in my spam and I don't have to teach her this iPhone trick. You know what I'm saying? And then I can just be like, hey, I'm like, answer her back. And then, you know, save it as, you know, Nicole Mary Kay girl, you know, or whatever. And then no, I have to follow up with her. And she's already got me because she texted me first. That would be like if I'm warm chatting with someone. That would be my text me your number real quick. I'll respond and I'll text you the details later. So that's how you say that. Then you have their legit number. They're not writing down a fake number. And then we can bypass this if they don't have that turned off. The second thing is I was going to actually kind of feel y'all out today. There's a company that just released a keychain, and it's a little lipstick. It's a little lip print, and you can put any one website on it. So someone puts it next to their phone and it brings up your website. It could be your Facebook group. It could be whatever you want it to be. I have what I call a milkshake where all my stuff has like links to it. So mine would be to that. And then they can see my Instagram, my Facebook, my customer group, or my website, you know, like, so that's what I was thinking. But some of the other directors were just getting getting them ordered. They're brand new. And just thinking it's a cool way for like somebody, oh, here's my website. And all they have to do is put their phone next to it and it brings up your website. Isn't that kind of cool? Like, I thought that was pretty cool. So Rebecca and I were talking about offering that like as a prize for y'all for something because we thought that was pretty neat. So any one website in the whole world that you want to use.
Though, like, how does that work?
What do you mean?
Like if you scanned it,
Mm-hmm.
can they save your website?
Well, it would open up like on their phone on like a browser.
Okay.
And then they'd probably have to save it.
Yeah, and then if they want to bookmark it or whatever, we'll have to order it and play with it. But like I like my milkshake because like you can put different links. So it's got my customer group. I don't know why it's called milkshake.
Milkshake. Bring them all to the yard.
It brings them all to my website.
Make a little parody.
Okay, I'm like old, what's a milkshake?
I know, that's what
size?
I
Like
was
what I'm getting at Sonic.
Okay, well I can't show y'all because I'm zooming on because my husband poured sauce on the computer. So
But when they go to the e-commerce, they're not gonna change our website address.
On your Instagram.
Is it
yeah, I'm gonna show y'all at lunch.
website you go to?
It's basically a website and you create like a page. It's like a landing page. And it says like you can put however many links you want. So I have my customer group. So anyone who goes to this page can click the first one and takes them straight to my Facebook group and they can hit join. Then I have like my Instagram. You can put your TikTok website. You can put whatever site you want. So you can put your actual website. When the e-commerce kicks in, whatever the new site is, I'm gonna replace it with that because you'll still have a website. It'll just be run different. So it's basically like a house for all your different links. And then if you have Twitter and LinkedIn and like all that, you could include all of those. So whatever you do have, if you have more than one space that people could follow you or you want people, you go and it's easy. Like you don't have to, you really just list what it is, put the link in, you can put a picture of yourself and then you good.
So it's just one place to
Something,
people you can
is that the one you make on Canva?
No, but they probably have one. This is Milkshake's an app for your phone. You cannot get to it from the computer. It's only an app. But then once you have that link, so if you go to my Instagram, that one link is right there. So when someone clicks it, all my stuff is available to them. So if I'm talking about my Facebook group on Instagram, I can say, go to my bio, which means the little write up. They click on it and then it can take them straight there. Hey, hi, bye Ash. Thanks for coming. So yeah, so I can show y'all what Milkshake looks like. It's all designed for you. So all you do is plug your stuff in, you pick the design that you like, and you use that link to send out to people. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'll teach y'all Milkshake. And the boys will come to the yard. It'd be
We can
great.
make a parody of that,
Yes.
but coming to our website, so.
Yes.
That's funny.
Okay, so all of that is back to booking. I was like a whole like, whew, but I guess y'all need to know that. So the post-it note is if they're not responding to you. It can even be somebody you know. Like say that you've been messaging them on Facebook or, you know, hey girl, should I quit trying, LOL, like put the funny thing behind it, you know, to make it like light or whatever. But just, you know, if you're trying to book somebody, should I quit trying? Kind of response. Amy showing her. You got it up?
There is hair products called milkshake too,
Really?
and they smell amazing.
So right, milkshake app and hair stuff. We all want the.
I know you can do it, I know you can make one on Canva, I don't know.
I don't know how to do all this.
Yeah, but it's so confusing.
No, girl, so easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
What? Canva? Okay.
I did the pajama party, no, it's not.
Pajama graphics. That's the easiest way to start, where she builds the bulk for you.
That's one.
Yeah, so her pajama graphics is her free site for consultants. Now you can pay.
I did.
I do pay for her director one. But yeah, there's a consultant one, and basically it's flyers for your customers. I don't know that all of you really need to pay for that monthly. the bulk of it is she makes a shell on Canva and you just go plug in your name, your phone number. So that's where the adopt a grandparent came from. If you saw my adopt a grandparent. So then I just took hers, I minimized something and threw my pictures of Allie and Avery with actual grandparents that we've taken. So like if this is your first year doing it, make sure to bring your kids, not your kids, but and take pictures, not your old grown kids. Amy can bring her grandkids. If you got like some little people, bring it. Because I mean, it cheers them up. It teaches your kids that, but it's also great for marketing the next year. And you can, I always go to my group and I'm like, thank you so much for those of you who donated. Like, this is what we were able to do,
I'm so behind on start. Like that was my plan for this weekend was to make a thing. But I'm glad you told me that because I was like, I need to find one that doesn't have kids in it. So I was gonna make myself one on Canva. But I'm gonna go to Pajero Graphics. But it's like too late to start now. How long we have until?
to December.
Okay.
It's early, girl. We used to do this like the very end.
Okay.
The only reason we really started doing it so early is because the socks sell out.
Right.
So we try to move some of that. Now,
Okay.
when the socks sell out, you still order Mint Bliss. You keep selling. Don't stop selling. And like you can do hand soaps. You can do men stuff because like we're not giving men pink socks. Like so Delisa's real good about. She mixes it with like some peppermints, and it can be any product. And some ladies like makeup. So I've had people who've given me like old makeup, and I'll give it to the home and be like, here, y'all decide who gets what. Because like some of the homes like. The one right here is specifically for people with no memory. Well, they can't just be given a lotion because they might try to eat it. So like a lot of times the home we have to work with the home to find out who gets what. Now, if it's assisted living, they have their own little space. They're pretty independent. That's one thing. Last year we went to deliver and the homes were like, we're not taking people right now. Too many people are sick. So I had to drop it off at the front door. So we didn't even get to visit with them last year. So they got less people last year. Unless you were like immediate family, they weren't letting like anybody in. So, but yeah, it's never too late. And any donation works for the adopt a grandparent. Like you can just start asking people if they want to round up. I printed 4 on a page and ordered like 100 of them. And then I cut them and I'm putting them in every order because I want people to know what I'm doing. And so if you just ask them, do you want to, round up? Every store you go to, right, says, do you want to round up for blah, blah, blah? Well, the stores take your money and then turn around and make a donation in their name and they get the tax write-off. Okay. So Jennifer, because I'm strategic, says no, because I would prefer to do the tax deduction and get, I would prefer to do the donation, get the tax deduction. And it drives my husband crazy. He's like, how you gonna tell those people no? It's very easy, Courtney. You just say no, thank you. And he's like, how you gonna say no to the kids? And I'm like, because I can go donate to my own kids. Like I'm doing their tax stuff, babe. I don't need to do that. Like, and I started noticing literally every store now has you do it, right? Like everybody has a cause that they're working on. It's so that they get the tax deduction. So anyway, don't be afraid to say, hey, we're doing adopt a grandparent, coming up. Would you like to round up?
Brenda's when we go shopping, how many of those can we sell them?
No, thank you. I'm not interested. I don't want to give you any more of my money. Thank you.
Where do you print it? Now that Office Depot's going.
Office Depot and they ship it to you for free.
Oh, you did.
I shall teach you that later. You do have to set up an account, but you upload it. You type in whatever you want and they ship it to you. I didn't have time to get all these done, but that would have been normally how I do it. And everything is free. So like those black and white must-have items, I ship those for that event. Cause I was like, if I give out lookbooks, like that's, 50 cents or whatever a book times 80 people, that's like $40 in books. That was crazy. So for like $4, I printed all those sheets back and front in color and was able to pass them out. So, and that's also how I do, I'm gonna talk about that in a little while, but the booking sheet with the tic-tac-toe referral game on the back, like, and I just put back in front, upload them. So I can actually do a live showing y'all how to order too. If y'all, let me write that down. I'll record how you order from Office Depot. So yeah, we used to go over there and it was so easy, but now you just order it and they ship it to you for free. Now, if you have Office Depot, they might not ship it to you for free, but I think they do. Because how would they know if I have Office Depot or not? And how far it would be from me? I don't feel like they would, right? So it must just ship for free. And
Probably tell me.
yeah, well, maybe that. But we want to, we get a discount because of Mary Kay. So you do want to make sure you're shipping or printing with the discount. Don't try to, just go order because you're not going to get the same. So like normally if something's 7 cents, we pay 3 cents, and like so we get some breaks in there. So definitely check that out. So yeah, print from there. So okay, why was I talking about adopt a grandparent and booking y'all? Sorry. Okay, so we're going for the no. We talked about milkshake. Talked about grandparents. Now we're back to no's. Okay, so a lot of times, I even took my medicine today, y'all. I know y'all not surprised. You people who know me, y'all like it's Jennifer. It's fine. Okay, so we get frustrated with the no. Okay, but here let me like preface like a situation. Nicole is over there drinking coffee. Okay, if she say, "Hey, you want a coffee?" I'm gonna say, "No, thank you." Is she or her feelings gonna be hurt? No, I didn't want coffee. Right? I don't drink coffee. No one's feelings get hurt. Okay. If you offer me a piece of bubble gum, I'm gonna say no thanks. I don't chew bubble gum. Your feelings don't get hurt. We're offering them Mary Kay. Our feelings should not get hurt if they say no thank you. Okay. Because sometimes they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to the product, or they're saying no because they don't have enough information. Okay. A lot of times people are like, no, I don't want to be a hostess. I don't want to do that. But then when you're like, well, all you got to do is get like 2 friends or 3 friends to come with you and you can do the same thing you did today. Oh, that's it? Oh, I could do that. I noticed that at Nicole's party that when we circled, I went over the little game with them and it's you and me or you and me plus 3 equals free. And so I'm like, well, she has a long list and she didn't really book anything. She didn't buy a whole bunch. I'm like, well, did you want to be a hostess? All you have to do is invite a couple friends. And she's like, and y'all are going to redo the same thing. It helps her with her training. And one of the girls was like, yeah, sure, I could do that. So she circled you and me. But then when I explained it just one more time, she's like, oh, I could help her with that. Or if they've done the referral sheet of tic-tac-toe people, but then they say, well, I don't know who I would invite. Well, you flip that paper over and you be like, this is who you invite. These 9 people is who you're inviting. And so instead of you just getting this one product underneath, you would get hostess credit instead, free stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. So a lot of times they just say no because they don't know what they're answering yet. Okay. And a no now doesn't mean a no forever either. I was with some friends for Mother's Day and her kids bought her all this Zoe skincare. And I'm literally standing there like we're super good friends. And they all give her this big gift basket full of this other skincare. I'm like, okay. So when she came actually not long after in June and played in the products. And she's like, oh my God, I love this. When my stuff runs out, like I'm a switch as it runs out. Now, some people, to be fair, if they found something that's working better, you would want them to switch now. But at the same time, I don't like to waste stuff. So that's what I was telling y'all. I'm going to finish my current concealer because I have a good bit of it before I switch over to the new one, So just don't be offended. Just make sure, like follow up switching when she runs out. And then as long as you're in her face, nagging her, but you send in her book, you're checking in on her. Hey girl, we have a special on that product you liked. It's going to keep reminding her when I'm out to come to you. Does that make sense? So a no now is not a no forever. Okay. They also there's busy seasons too. Like, especially if you have kids in school or you're a teacher, like August and like May are kind of like crazy months. So like those are months that I kind of go up and down. Like I'm looking for people who don't have kids, or I'm looking for people who, their kids aren't in a lot of stuff, and you just kind of work around that. Okay. Okay. So when your feelings aren't into the no, and you get the no's, like it's exciting. So one of the people who I was given tips or whatever from this week, she said she tries to do 5 no's like a day, whether it's on your phone, you're talking to people, whatever. I walked in the Bath and Body one day and I had made up some like little goodie bags. And I'm like, oh, this would probably be a good place to get like some good names. And so I didn't know, because I didn't know. And I went to the desk and I was like, well, how many people y'all working? I have some goodie bags for y'all, like, with Mary Kay, and I brought y'all a coupon. And one of the ladies was like, we can't take that. And I was like, you can't take a free sample goodie bag? Nope. I was like, well, I was just going to give them to you to like put in I was so confused because I was like, I'm not selling you anything. I'm literally just handing out little goodie bags. And she's like, corporate doesn't allow us to. I can't even put my kids' fundraiser stuff out. I'm like, okay, but fundraiser's selling something. I'm still not selling something. She's like, we can't take that. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, okay, I get it. Like, I'm leaving. But then in my head, if I'd have just handed it to each worker, hey, here's just like a little happy, they would have at least gotten, that. So like, I was just like, okay, it doesn't mean I'm never going back to Bath and Body and trying again, because that could have just been that lady. It also, she didn't understand, apparently, I was not selling anything. I'm just giving you these goodies, So, I mean, just kind of think about it like that. Like they might say no now, but then, and the same thing with the book with getting people on your team. Delisa told me no. How many years you were my customer? 4 or 5 years. And y'all, I will never forget. I did the marketing like I was supposed to. And she said, oh God, if I sign up for that, my husband would kill me. So when she came and said she wanted to sign up, I was like, my first thing was like, but isn't your husband going to kill you? And she's like, I don't care anymore. She's like, I'm spending so much money buying products from you. Like, I don't care anymore. And I was like, okay, like if you don't care, I don't care. Like, welcome to the team. And she's been one of my most consistent people since. Like Nicole heard about marketing the first time she came. Candace heard about marketing the first time she came. A lot of times they don't say no right away, but then later on, if you give them the information later on, they might change their mind or whatever. And so like I've had people do the same thing with the products. I most recently have a girl, she was with me for a long time, kind of fizzled out, quit buying. And then not too long ago, she called and she was like, hey, like I went to Zoe, it was too expensive. I hated it. I'm ready to come back to Mary Kate. Can I come, see? And she came over. And so she's like, okay, I'm out of night cream and I'm out of this. So she bought those. And she's like, okay, when I run out of this, I'm switching. Like, so she knew in her head, like, as I run out, like, this is what I'm switching. So, and it just happened, they're all coming from that same company. So they're jumping ship to go try it. And then it's okay, they like it, but they realize how expensive it is and it's just as good as ours. So then they're like, well, that one was cheaper. I'm gonna go back to that one. So that's why I always love them where they are. If they're telling you no now, you never know. Like as long as you just love them, at some point they're gonna come back and be like, yeah, I want to try that. Okay. And so that's the customer service side of no. That's not even just the, the Mary Kay side. I did hear something this week. It's in my planner. I'm trying to remember. I might have to go grab it. And the guy, it was about your family saying no. Oh, it was a realtor. And the guy was saying, he started this real estate thing. And we just went through this with Courtney when he was doing real estate. And he was like, then he would see his friends and family, like listing their house with other people. And his feelings got hurt. And he was like upset about it. And he was like, man, like, why didn't he come with me? Like, that's my friends, that's my family. And so one day he was out to lunch with the guy who was talking, and he said, the guy was like, man, you know what I noticed? And he mentioned it to him, and he was like, well, I wouldn't go with you either. And he was like, what? And he was like, well, I don't want to mix business with family. So like in their mind, they need to do business with someone who they're not related to, because like you don't want to step on toes or whatever. So a lot of times you just don't know why they're saying no, because it could be different reasons. And I was like, oh, I guess, but I would want to support my friends and family, but not everybody thinks like that. And so, who were we talking about yesterday? Oh, we were at lunch, and it was this girl who does real estate, and she was saying it was a customer from years ago, and it was a whole thing when apparently they did the closing or whatever. And he came back to her, and she's like, I never thought after all those years, and it wasn't the best experience, he would come back. But she said, but I added him to my email list. He's been getting emails from me for like 4 years. And then when they called, he couldn't believe that. Like I could remember who he was. And I was like, oh, that's kind of impressive, So when I save everybody's name and number in my phone, and because I have that app that I type everything in, if people call me, I'll be like, oh yeah, you ordered red smolder, in 2025, 2024, 2023, or I'll see you at urgent care. That does not sound like it went well today. I'm gonna have to go check and see what happened to my children. Okay. Let me finish this and we'll pause this and I can upload it. Okay, so let me finish booking and then we'll take a break and we do a prize and we can do raffle before I start sharing, and I'll make sure my children are alive. Okay, I guess if they're going to urgent care, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, so booking ideas. In this packet, you guys, and I'll do the link when I'm gonna stop this, y'all, so that we can upload it, and it's gonna be like sections. So again, y'all don't have to watch all of them. And then in 5-10 minutes, we'll jump back on. Okay, same Zoom. You're just gonna jump on off and on. And then I'll upload this packet in between to the Voxer group so y'all can open it and see it. Okay, I meant to do that already. So basically, it's each month there's some booking themes, booking ideas. The first one, well, the first page is going to be how to get names. There's Enter to Win shopping spree where you could do working women. Working women is you have some goodie bags, you have these forms, you get a basket, you fill your basket with your little forms. So I'd have a clipboard. I walk in with my basket and I'm like, hey, Rebecca, I'm Jennifer with Mary Kay. We're just out honoring working women today. We have some goodie bags. And as I'm talking to her, I'm handing her the name and phone number page. And I'm like, we just need your name and number and we're going to get you a goodie bag and we're going to be out the door. And I like to do it where people nominate them. So I can say, you know, Rebecca over at the veterinary office sent us over here to love on y'all. How many Rebeccas they got that might have a patient with an animal coming? Like, you know, you can kind of generic. Oh, the ladies next door said to come love on y'all. They didn't really say that. I just said that to make it sound like somebody sent me in here. So working women's a way to get names. The referral game, customer appreciation boost that anybody's having a vendor event. You can go, that's a way that you can get names. So it just depends on if you want something quick, you want something scheduled. The bridal events that they do, that's a great place to get names. What month do we do that? The hostess, I think it's on the first page. If they host a party in December, or basically you pick a slow month, a month like December where people are getting together, but maybe not for Mary Kay, unless you like market it right. Sometimes like in January, people are kind of like stepping back to save money and all the things. So it might be January and June. You have them be a hostess, and then for the next 6 months, they can buy everything at cost. You're only your hostess, but she's getting everything because she hosted for you. So anytime you're having like a dry season, you'd be like, I'm gonna let you shop. And you can do 3 months. You can be like anything for the next 3 months at half off if you want. Guess what's happening? She's gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff because it's half off. And guess what happens when it runs out? She coming back and it's full price. Or she can host again, get you in front of 3 new people, you know? So that's one of my go-tos. I don't like always like brag about to everybody about it, but if I'm in a season where like, like right now, like I really need to get some hosting going, like that could be something that you offer. Okay. And you could do 3 months, 6 months, you know, 1 month, you can do it however you want. Anything you order in October is half off if you put 3 friends in front of me. So you can do it however you want. December works because then they can get Christmas presents for people. So, all right, on the next pages is different themes for every single month that we have. Okay. So if you go to the Facebook albums, there is a September fall/October album. Every flyer I've ever seen that you can either give to kids when you're handing out trick or treats, they have those in there. That is a way to get your name out to your neighbors. You can literally hand them out yourself. Like if I'm walking around with the kids trick or treating and I see a sharp lady or mama walking with her kids, I'd be like, trick or treat, mom, this one's for you. And you can put a sample with a little piece of candy and a coupon. Okay, that's all in the October album. And as these months come, y'all, like I'm gonna go over all this with y'all. I'm just kind of gonna breeze through some, but I'm gonna spend the most time on October right now, because we're in October. Faces for the Fight is one. So because we donate to breast cancer awareness and domestic violence, what I do is anybody who tries product with me, I donate $1 to the Mary Kay Foundation. Okay, like it's a tax write-off for us. Like it's a way to give back. It puts people in front of me. They don't even have to buy anything because if they don't buy anything, it's just $1. So if at the end of the month I've seen 30 faces, I'm sure somebody spent more than $30, and I'm gonna, you know, and it's a little donation, so it looks good, and we're giving back at the same time. And one thing that I had them do was that so I would facial Rebecca. Then Rebecca would take a selfie with me. And Rebecca would go to Facebook and post, I just donated to breast cancer awareness and domestic violence to the Mary Kay Foundation. All I did was plate in some products with Jennifer, and she tags me. Make sure you like this post for details or comment below on how you can help and, you know, get a coupon, get a discount, like whatever. So basically her friends are seeing the post that she posted and how they can give back. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what Faces for the Fight is. There's a flyer that's 31 items by the 31st. So that would just be resale items, like people who are just grabbing something here or there, just a countdown. Those just people who just want to help that can come along. That's what that one's for. There's a lot that are like, if your makeup's outdated, they play on the baddie, like witchy words. And that there's little flyers in there that you can post in there. Stay fabulous. Cute, right? I ain't going with any of that. But now ChatGPT could come up with some good stuff for y'all. So now that we got that. So a lot of just like Halloween themed. The one in the middle says you've been booed, nominate your favorite office. So that's where you would go do working women, but like someone would tell you to go there. Does that make sense? And so when you walk in, you're like, oh, Jane from, blah, blah, blah office sent us over here to love on y'all. And so, excuse me, it's not just you walking into a random place. So if you need some quick names, that's the best way to get quick names. Running into an office or a place that have a lot of people who work there. One year, my friend Karen and I did it. She did Pamper Chef and I did Mary Kate, so we would all do stuff together. We did the whole hospital at Chabert, and the last place they sent us was to like one of the actual like paperwork offices, and they were like, "Y'all have like permission from Human Resources to be doing this?" And we were like, "Sure, yeah." Like we didn't ask nobody, we just did it. And then they were like, "Oh, okay." And now, so after we walked out the office, we were like, "We should probably go now." Like we had done several floors of nurses and handed stuff out, and I was like, "Let's just go home now. I think we got enough names from this place." Like the key with like when you get someone's name, whether it's a warm chat, whether it's an office of the week, you have to talk to them that same day. I wouldn't message them until after 5 o'clock if they're at work, but after 5 o'clock, you need to be like, "Hey, girl," and you tell them, "I'm gonna message you tonight about the details." So you're telling them in front of them, "I'm going to message you." So then when you message them that night, it's not like, "Wait, what? Who is this?" You've already met them and you told them, like, I'm gonna do that. If it's a big office, like, and you can take a picture. Oh, our office of the week this week was, if there's a couple people, I did that one time. It was like a medical place, but it wasn't like a crazy busy one. So a couple people had come to the front. So I said, "Let me snap a picture of y'all with your goodies." And what we would do a lot of times is go to like Walmart or whatever and get a pack of cookies and put like cookies and like you could, or bring a tray if it's a big office. If it's a little bitty office, you don't want to bring a big tray of cookies. But for a couple bucks, they used to have them in little bags or whatever. Walmart would put 3 or 4 cookies in a little brown bag. So you could just buy those and it's like $1 or $2. And you could, drop that off at the office. But then everybody gets a little goodie bag. But they only get it if you got their name and number. I've had it where the girl at the front desk goes around and grabs everybody's name and number while they're working in the back. I've had it where they call them, "Hey, come to the front. Like, we got this." Sometimes you might just get the girl at the front desk. You just play it by ear. Every office is different. Most of the time, I'd be like, "Y'all have any other women working?" They can all come get one. And then the secretary will tell you, what that looks like in
And
each
then you just
office.
say, "Can I just get your name and number?"
Well, the paper only has room for name and number and who they would nominate. So they get to the bottom part and they're like, "Well, what does this mean?" Well, oh, remember how Sally sent us over here to love on y'all? Who would y'all like us to go love on? And then they usually pick like someone they know's office. So it's not like, "Oh, my sister works at blah, blah, blah." And sometimes I've had them all put the same office. I'm like, "Okay." So I'll go to the pharmacy and be like, "All the girls at this medical place sent us over here to love on y'all," kind of thing. You can also just pretend. Like if it's a little strip mall, that's how Lana taught me. She would just walk in and be like, "Oh, the people next door sent us over here to love on y'all. Oh, the people next door sent us in here to love on y'all. Oh, the people next door," like, because they didn't know what they didn't know. And you go to that first office, those people sent us to love on y'all. Like you just point at one of the other places, and they're like, "Oh, that's so nice." Ain't that so nice? You totally just made that up. So that's my favorite way when I need quick names. Like a facial bowl you can put out or a fish bowl, but like you have to wait a week or two to get names put in there, or at least a day or two. I like to do it this way. That way it's quicker. Cool. All right. So that's October. Then November's thankful sweater, fall trend. That's when it finally is getting cold here. So you're switching up the makeup colors. You can talk to people about that. And then in December for booking, lots of holiday looks. Let's get, glam ready before you're there. Very quick makeovers is where you want to focus in December, like super fast, 5-minute faces because they got a lot going on. But like you can fit all into that. Grinch to Glam has always been like my favorite like name. And then January, you're starting fresh, new. It's winter here, so people need to take care of their skin differently. Botox and Bubbly was a cute name. And then anytime you have a launch of new products, oh, we have this exclusive launch this month. We have these new products. I need a test panel. So anytime new stuff comes out. So my thought with like, since Delisa mentioned it earlier about not a lot of people trying that makeup palette, is like switching your mindset to like, I have to have 5 people try each palette to get their opinion and try it. I watched a reel this morning. She only used 2 colors from the palette. It was the pink palette, and she used the lighter brown and one with the shimmer. And all she did was put a little bit color of the brown right here, and then she put the shimmer right on top. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that was a lot easier than I was trying. And so she was saying how, one was matte, one was shimmer, and she kind of just mixed them together. And I was like, oh, I was thinking way too advanced for that one. Like I was trying to get a bunch of these colors. But if you show them like, oh, you only have to use 2, imagine how long this palette's gonna last you, Okay, so the next page is scripts. That basically is what to say. Every single day of your life, y'all, you will get better results if you call or you talk versus a text. And when I get to sharing after my break I'm about to take, I have you guys do a 3-way message on Messenger, because you can't talk if they don't have the same phone as you. If you have an Android or iPhone, like they don't, like a voice message doesn't talk back and forth. So, but if you go to Messenger, no matter what kind of phone you have, we can all message each other. So like, that's one of the things I'm gonna say. So if you're like somebody's interested in the business, Candace and I have like a million of those. She puts all her people in it. We can talk back and forth. That way it's not having to type it all out, and you can answer like while I'm watching soccer. I could be like, okay, girl, but what that looks like is, and they hear you doing life while you're answering them. So always a 3-way. If you can voice message it, you can always try. My work number doesn't always send a picture. So I'll be like, hey, did you get my message? It's not showing sent on my side, like play dumb. Oh yeah, I got it. I see it. Okay, cool. I've started a personal use email chain that I send out to my people who don't work Mary Kay, because I'm like, they don't know about all these products. And so the other day I messaged them and I was like, yeah, he's texting me pictures. Curta must have hurt herself. Sorry, shiny ball. What was I talking about? Getting stitches. Great.
Personal use. You sent
Yes.
it.
Oh, and so I was like, hey, have you seen my emails? And 2 or 3 people were like, no. So I was like, okay, go check spam. Every week I've been sending you like a quick video to watch on a product. So like this week I did beauty blotters. I recorded it on my phone, uploaded it, and then sent it to them, because they don't know what beauty blotters do. They don't know that that's a thing. So I just showed them, oh, look how cool y'all like wiped all this off. Like, so it's not some formal video. I'm just sending it. Okay. But I was like, nobody's really responding. Like I can see if they open it. So I had to tell a few of them, go look in your spam to find it. So you don't want it like getting lost. So that's why I'm like, Messenger is great. Say that you want to send some birthday stuff out. You send the birthday stuff on Messenger and you can talk. Hey girl, I saw it was your birthday this month. I just wanted to reach out. Every time somebody does that, blah, 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 and you answer it like that. Does that make sense? So those are all just booking ideas. For the weeks coming up, booking attempts, there's a way you can track it. And then there's 2 different no pages. One is on the last page on here, and then one is like a separate no page on here. Cool. All right. The only other things I had for booking ideas is in the front of my planner each month, I started making a list of people's names. And as I talk to them, I scratch them out. So like if it's somebody from last month, they're like, oh, I'm busy this week, get back with me. Like the next week, I'm not going to remember. So if their name is listed, but then once I use, like I get them in front of me, they try the product, scratch their name out, they don't go on. Anybody who didn't, like I keep moving their name until I get either a no, I can't do it or whatever. So a list at the front. Ask everybody, don't be afraid. We offer a product. We probably have something that they can use, even if they love their skincare set. Going back, I had a girl come. The mom came with her and I set up for the mom to do it. And she's like, oh, no, I'm not doing anything. I just came with her. My sister sells Mary Kay. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she tells me her name. I'm pretty sure it's the girl who just signed up under you. Joyce. I'm pretty sure it's her sister who was here. Remind me to tell you that story. Yeah.
Yes, she used to.
So she was like, oh, she does personal use, whatever. I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, you're welcome to try it. And y'all, she really needed to try it because you could see the stress on her face. Like, it wouldn't have hurt, I'm like, look, you tried anything you want in the back of your hand. But once we got the satin lip, she's like, oh, I want to try that one. And then once we got to the lip gloss, I want to try that one. So some of them she did want to, touch and feel. And so I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then she ended up buying the eye patches before she left. And then she's like, okay, next on my list is that charcoal mask. So she didn't try them, but just me talking about them or her seeing them made her want to do it. And then talk from your heart, y'all. Like, don't worry about having a script and saying the right thing. Just start reaching out to people. One of my moms from GDC, like she's been my friend on Facebook for a while. So finally I was like, hey girl, I just wanted to see if, I know you're home during the day. If we could get together, you could give me your opinion. That's what I just started asking people. And the last couple big hostess parties I've had have turned into that. Kristen ended up, she owns a dance studio. We've done 2 years worth of parties at her dance studio because one day I just picked up the phone very nervously, voice message her. She was like my first voice message person. I guess that's why I remember it. And then the last one, the mom doesn't have Facebook, so I don't even know if she knew I did Mary Kay, but our kids became friends. So I messaged her. I was like, hey, Sam, like, this is what I do. I was just wondering if you could try some products. And then she had the idea to turn it into a party. But it was all because I just voice messaged. And it wasn't anything scripted. It just was, hey, like I would come, let you try the products, and give you a gift just for helping me out. And they say yes. So, and then when you're warm chatting, the question to ask is, once you kind of start talking to somebody, has anyone asked you to be a Mary Kay model yet? Or if she's younger, influencer. So if I'm meeting somebody who's like college age, I would say, girl, you are beautiful. Has anybody ever asked you to be a Mary Kay influencer before? No? Like, what does that mean? And obviously you just gave them a compliment. Like, oh, your lashes are great. Has anybody ever asked you to model Mary Kay's mascara? No. Okay, girl, I got to get your number. We got to do this. That's all you gotta say. But Mary Kay model if she's older, or like whatever the compliment is. Like your skin is gorgeous. I want to see how it glows with our products. Has anyone ever asked you to be a model? Whatever the compliment is, whatever you look at her and you see. And then if she's younger, same thing, but influencer. Make sense? Cool. All right, taking a break, jumping off. Y'all can jump right back on, but I'll message in the group after I check on my kid. Okay. Be right back.